بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأصلي وأسلم على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا وسندنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. We've been on the topic of zakah, which is a very exciting topic. Many people are quite impressed and are grateful for our contribution. May Allah increase us in the ability to inform people and teach the community of zakah. That is not my words, but it comes from the community that say, may Allah increase us in wisdom, knowledge, and courage to do this pillar of Islam. So we were discussing about this nisab and the howl. Now the howl is also different. In cash, the howl is one Islamic year. In agriculture, might be different. And in vegetation, it might be different also. And nowadays, our Muslims don't only have cash, they have farms. Now the people of zakah experts, they now have to think deeper. How do we get everybody to pay zakah? So we also take the nisab from silver. From gold, lesser people will pay zakah. If you take the nisab from silver, so more people are able to gain the reward of paying zakah. Remember, it's a rewarding thing. Paying zakah is a reward. So Allah always make dua. Allah will put us in the position that we are able to pay zakah. So your nisab workout on gold is actually 87.4 grams of gold, which is equal to about 8,000, equal to the amount. Wheat, if I'm saying, take it on silver, which is 612 grams of silver, which add up to, today currently, is about 8,400 and odd. You can also go on our website every day to see the current amount of the nisab. Now your howl is different, your nisab is different, but now we have to have zakah as part of our duties, like salah, like fasting, like hajj. Zakah becomes a pillar of Islam. Yes. Your question today is, why should people pay this amount of 2.5%? Where do we come on that? Any Maulana brought it up or any Mufti that come up with it? No. This was described by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The 2.5%, they said to the person who had to go and collect zakah, the Amir in Medina, they went to the farm area. So he said, if 200 sheep a person have, take 5 sheep as a zakah. Every 200 sheep, take 5 sheep. In another hadith, he said, a person should take a 40th of his surplus wealth as zakah. So if you work out 5 over 200, gives you 2.5%. You take a 40th into percentage figures, it makes it 2.5%. So 2.5%, you can say about Rasulullah, there was no percentage. But because Islam is a progressive religion, we were there at 5 over 200, and the 40th, work it out to percentage, it comes to 2.5%. Ordained, described, demanded, commanded by the same person, Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, on our 2.5% discussion.
Shukran Maulana, just continuing in terms of the conditions that we spoke about last week. So you've mentioned the nisab, you've mentioned the whole. The other two is the one relating to ownership, in that for you to be able to, not be able to, for any zakat that's due on your wealth, you have to absolutely own this wealth. So Maulana, can you clarify in terms of what is this, to own this absolutely in terms of?
You said it must be mine. So we look at many times we have at work, your employment, so we have a pension fund, which is in your name, but not actually yours yet, until you retire or you now are retrenched or you leave the employment. So by that time, then only you become the owner. But before that, you're not the owner of the money, right? So you must be fully 100% be able to have access to it to make your ownership about it. I think this is the most practical example we can do. If people owe you money, it is still your wealth. So you're still the owner of it. But we will come to that one day, inshallah. We have chance again, inshallah, we'll come to that one day. Right?
Inshallah.
So the example we can use of being ownership is that money where you have access anytime to it. That is your money. But if you invest your money for 12 years, it was yours. You chose to invest it for 12 years, a fixed deposit, whatever deposit you did it, right? It is still your wealth, because whether you have access to it or not, you had to voluntarily put that money away. That goes for your retirement annuity, for your fixed deposits, but you're still the owner of it. So you have 100% ownership of that money.
Shukran, Maulana. I think also a good example of where somebody can determine whether they have complete ownership of it, especially on movable assets, is that can you dispose of it? Can you give it away? Can you gift it or sell it? And if the answer to that question is actually no, or there are limitations to that ability to be able to sell, then you need to question yourself, do you actually really own this wealth? But shukran so much, Maulana.
You're welcome.
This Ramadan, do more. Sanzav, changing lives through development and relief.